Just when you think stories out of Ohio can't get worse, I just think that Ohio, mainly in Cleveland, mainly in Cuyahoga County, this is in Columbus, Ohio, but I just think that Ohio as a state has just a plethora of issues when it comes to child abuse. In my opinion, it has the rank as one of the worst states pertaining to child abuse. We're going to talk about the people that you guys see on my screen. And if you have thin, sensitive skin and cannot handle me talking about people who hurt, murder, and abuse children in a disparaging way, then this might not be the channel for you. Let me give you guys a disclaimer about my content if this is your first time here. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. So our news source today is NBC4i.com. So if y'all want to argue with anything that's in this article, then you got to go argue with them. Columbus, Ohio, the Franklin County coroner is releasing new details about the death of a little boy by the name of Martonio Wilder, 8-year-old little boy that you guys saw on the screen. I'm going to get back to these pictures here in just a second. No, those are hideous pictures. I'm sorry if y'all weren't ready to see that. But look at this happy little boy, man. And the way that he met his demise is, y'all are not going to believe how disrespectful this is. His mother, who's 32 years old, her name is LaShonda Wilder, and she's been charged with his murder. Wilder's girlfriend, 33-year-old Jonna Lowe, the individual that you guys see on the right-hand side of the screen looking like a light-skinned Wolverine. I'm like, why do you look like that? My Lord, look. I know time's getting hard, and I know it's a hard knock life for us. It is definitely a hard knock life for us. And no, you guys are not seeing the screen wrong. That is what's classified as a woman, right? That's classified as a woman. They said girlfriend, but girlfriend, let me show y'all this picture. It's just, I just think that sometimes in life you could just look at a picture and just say, damn. Like, you can't do no better than that. Now, I know I'm not the picture of health, but good Lord, like, I want y'all to take a look at this. Like, why does she look like the second coming of the devil? Like, she literally looks like the crypt keeper's daughter or something. Like, I don't know why she looks like that. Like, she doesn't even look like a real person. Look at this. I hope y'all are not eating right now. And you lay up next to that. Oh my God. Like, how do you get that on your face? Do you glue it on there? Do you is that like pubic hair or what? Like, you take pills to make like hair grow out of your face. Like, even if you wanted to have some features of a man, like I know they have hormone therapy. Look, man, why would you want to do this? And look, and this is the end result. Like, why would you do this? I don't understand. And look, y'all might be thinking like, well, Jay, you're not so sexy yourself. And look, this woman's sitting here looking like Tu Wong Fu. If y'all have never seen Tu Wong Fu, you need to look it up. That's what she looked like. But listen to what they did to this little boy. Wilder's girlfriend, 33-year-old Jonna Lowe, is charged with obstruction of justice, and both of them are being held on bond. NBC4 got a chance to read through the coroner's investigation report, so check this out. The report broke down what all occurred this past Friday, June 28th, so it wasn't that long ago, after Wilder called 911 to report Martonio missing. Let me say that again. They called to report that this boy was missing. Okay? So that is intentionally misleading, but you got to hear the details. It talks about how and where his body was found. We also are hearing the 911 call made that day from Wilder herself. Please, can I get a crew here? My 8-year-old son ran away last night, said Wilder. That's the mom. Keep in mind, this boy did not run away. I want y'all to also keep in mind, how many times have I told y'all what type of relationships are the most violent domestic relationships? How many times have we talked about this in the LGBT community? Women on women relationships classified as domestic relationships have the highest rate of domestic violence. They're violent, right? It's like when you try to force two things that are the exact same, like you do in nature, like you do in science. If you had two magnets and you try to force the two together that aren't supposed to be together, it's going to repel and it's going to create an energy that could explode, right? This is not what nature intended, and I know people get sensitive about me saying that, but truly in all, we wouldn't have, our society wouldn't even exist. People wouldn't exist if men and women weren't together. This is not the way it's meant to go down. I'm just saying. You can get mad about that if you want to. So don't be surprised when you see that people like this get together, not only have a high rate of violence, but you keep seeing a high rate of child death. Now, what makes you think that if these two women don't have any respect for men, didn't want men, one got pregnant by men and then decided she wanted to be with a woman, or a woman that has facial hair like a man, like I just, You want her to have a voice like a man, have facial hair like a man, have chest hair like a man, and walk around with a plastic penis and have sex with you like a man would, but you don't want a man, but you want manly things from a woman. It's just confusing to me. So I would have to assume that it's confusing for them to know how to raise a boy to become a man, which we're going to talk about that picture here in a second, with his tongue out of his mouth. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. She called 911 herself and said, please, can I get a crew here? My 8-year-old son ran away, which we know he did not. This is one of 2 911 calls Wilder made begging for the police to come to her house on Olmsted Avenue. She says the last time anyone saw Martonio was Thursday night, June 27th, right before everybody went to bed. She tells police she had no idea where he could be and isn't sure what he was wearing. Now, if you were paying attention to your child, how would you not know what your child was wearing? My back door was wide open. How many times have y'all heard that on my channel? The door was open. I just woke up and the door was wide open. And come to find out, that ain't what happened at all. But let's keep going. She said, oh man, Wilder tells the dispatcher. During the call, Wilder says this isn't the first time Martonio has done something like this, but they've always found him. He had jumped out of my window before. I found him on the side of my house. He kind of run away and I don't know why. He said he hates me. He said he hates everything. He said he don't care about being here, she said. When officers arrived on the scene, a search began. According to court documents, at one point, Wilder became uncooperative and left with Lowe and her other 2 children. Let me say that again. She became uncooperative with the police who are trying to help her find her son, who she's alleging is missing. Why would you leave? Why would you become uncooperative? And why do you have 2 other children? So that would make what, 3? And you allegedly don't like men and masculinity? Left with this girlfriend. The 3 and 9-year-olds. So Martonio is what? 8 years old. So she has a 3-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 9-year-old. So she had the 8 and 9-year-old literally back to back. This is what prompted the Friday night Amber Alert. Later in the evening, and you know what's funny about that Amber Alert? You would have to, I thought, for an Amber Alert, you have to have certain qualifications for Amber Alert. What are the qualifications to issue an Amber Alert?
According to Amber Alert, Office of Justice Programs. The law enforcement agency believes that the child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death. There is enough descriptive information about the victim in the abduction for law enforcement to issue an Amber Alert to assist in the recovery of the child. The abduction is of a child aged 17 years or younger.
So they don't have a description as to who might have taken the child. If someone has the child, she's just literally saying he's gone. And another thing that's a big problem is that she couldn't even describe what he was wearing when he allegedly left the house. Think about this. She couldn't even describe what he had on the last time she saw her kid. Don't y'all think that's a little bit weird? Later in the evening, according to the coroner's investigation report, first responders entered Wilder's home through the back, making their way to the second floor. On that floor, responders noticed that there was an attic door. The attic is only about 2 feet high, and it's filled with dust and cobwebs. The only thing in it was a sleeping bag cover tied shut. According to the investigation report, EMs cut the string and saw a black trash bag. All that could be seen was Martonio's hands, feet, and camouflage pants. The report says that the body was cold to the touch and the house was 78 degrees. NBC4 was also shown photos by the coroner's office. It appears that Martonio was malnourished. We do know that the Franklin County Children's Services, FCCS, was working with the Wilder family, but we don't know in what capacity. I'm going to assume that there was some allegations of them being physical and beating on these kids, arguing, fussing, and fighting, even probably between the two of them. Okay? A spokesperson for FCCS says it can be tough to recognize the signs of child abuse and neglect, but a closer look at a situation may be warranted when signs appear repeatedly or in combination. Here's some signs that they say that you can look out for. If the child has unexplained burns, bites, bruises, broken bones, or black eyes, like, of course, like that's pretty common sense. Has fading bruises or other noticeable marks after an absence from school. Seems frightened of the parents and protests or cries when it's time to go home. Now, I want y'all to notice the mom even admitted that this boy says that he doesn't like her and doesn't want to be around her. That's a sign of abuse. Shrinks at the approach of adults. And I want y'all to remember that she's the one told that, not the little boy. Reports of injury by a parent or another adult caregiver. Offers conflicting, unconvincing, or no explanation for the child's injury. Describes the child as evil or in some other very negative way. Uses harsh physical discipline with the child. Has a history of abuse as a child. Signs of neglect could be is frequently absent from school, begs or steals food or money. We've heard that before. Lacks needed medical or dental care, immunizations or glasses. Lacks sufficient clothing for weather, abuses alcohol or other drugs, states that there is no one home to provide care, appears to be indifferent to the child, seems apathetic or depressed, behaves irrationally or in a bizarre manner, or abuses alcohol or other drugs. For anyone concerned, you can call the Franklin County Child Abuse Hotline. So there's no reason for me to show any of those pictures that they had from the coroner's office and those pictures they took up in the attic. Like, why would you even want to see that? But again, let me talk about something else when I say that it is not meant for children to be raised like this. I want y'all to just think about what I'm saying. His demeanor here seems pretty normal in that picture. That's more of a boy kind of stance. You know, maybe not smiling, just normal, just kind of just laid back. This right here, this is overt. O-V-E-R-T, overt. This is more of a feminine behavior, feminine pose, feminine characteristic. So it's easy to tell that this boy had a heavy influence of women and not men to even take a picture like this. Boys don't take pictures like this. This is not natural. And what I'm saying is that it's a clear indicator as to who's actually raising him the majority of the time to take a picture like that. Like I said, I'm not disparaging him, but what I am saying is I'm casting aspersions on the mom and saying that it seems like that the father is not involved, or she didn't allow the father to be involved, especially with her having a girlfriend who looks like she wants to behave like a man, grow facial hair like a man. It's ridiculous. Let me give you guys the fair uses. Let me get into the news videos. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And I just want to encourage people who listen to this, if you're going to respond to anything that I've said, please respond and mention the children. Too many times I notice people would get mad because I'll say something about people's sexuality or their looks or whatever it is and won't mention nothing about the kids who are dead in this situation. I'm going to assume that this boy was starved, he was misused, he was probably talked crazy to, and probably beat up by both parents. So don't be surprised if more of that information comes out here pretty soon. If y'all will, in the memory of this little boy Martonio that was allegedly missing, please hit that thumbs up and share this video so more people can see it. The more, we want to have at least one thumb up for everybody watching, okay? Here we go.
10 TV News at 6 begins with breaking news this evening.
We are still searching for LaShonda Wilder, and anyone that has any information, we're asking that you come forward.
The death of an 8-year-old boy in Columbus is now being investigated as a homicide. Columbus police have charged LaShonda Wilder with murder after police found the body of her 8-year-old son hidden in a trash bag in her attic. Now, this comes after Columbus police say LaShonda Wilder called yesterday afternoon to report her son, Martonio Wilder, missing. Now, police are looking for LaShonda and her girlfriend, Jonna Lowe. 10 TV's Carla Rogner is live from Columbus Police Headquarters with the latest on this investigation. Carla?
Yeah, Colin, that murder charge this afternoon comes on top of the obstruction of justice charge. Jonna Lowe is also charged with obstruction of justice. Police say they haven't seen the two of them since yesterday afternoon when they left LaShonda's house while police were there searching for Martonio. This is video of the scene last night of the police investigation in Northeast Columbus at Wilder's home. This is where police say they found the body of Martonio Wilder in a trash bag inside of a sleeping bag in the attic. Police say LaShonda called police around noon yesterday, reporting her 8-year-old son had been missing since he went to bed the night before. Police started searching for the boy, and when they prepared to bring a canine cadaver dog inside the home, authorities say LaShonda and her girlfriend, Jonna Lowe, became uncooperative, took two of her other sons, and left. Around 6:30 p.m., police found what they believed to be Martonio's body. An Amber Alert was then issued for two of Martonio's brothers. They were later found safe at Lowe's mother's house. Now, LaShonda's family is pleading for her to turn herself in.
He was 8 years old. We've been out here all day. You say he ran away, but we found your baby unalive in your house, and you ain't came and did nothing. LaShonda Wilder, turn yourself in. We found your baby. This is not okay.
Of the tragic case surrounding a missing child.
All right, we're going to find him. Stay positive.
That is new video released by Columbus Police just this afternoon showing the moments officers began searching for 8-year-old Martonio Wilder. His mother, LaShonda Wilder, reported him missing last Friday, and after hours of searching, officers discovered Martonio's body in the attic of the family's home. The mother and her girlfriend, Jonna Lowe, are now facing charges related to Martonio's death.
10 TV's Carla Rogner looked through the police body camera video this afternoon. She's live now outside Columbus Police Headquarters with what she saw.
Yeah, the video begins hours before police found Martonio's body when LaShonda first reported him missing. In the video, her face is blurred and a lot of her conversation with the officer has been redacted. But in that video, she sticks to her story that Martonio had run
I know one of these videos has the 911 call, so I want to make sure that y'all hear that. So I'm going to let this play out.
away. Around 1 p.m. Friday, a Columbus police officer meets an emotional LaShonda Wilder outside her home on Olmsted Avenue.
So what's going on? Okay. Okay. Has he run away before? Okay. Have you checked the residence thoroughly?
LaShonda tells him she hasn't seen her son since the night before when they went to bed.
So you guys all went to bed at 9:30.
LaShonda leads the officer into the house where you can see her girlfriend, Jonna Lowe, in the red shorts out front before.
I'm sorry. I got to call this out. Shout out to Tommy, by the way. Let's show y'all this. Oh, my Lord. Look at how unkempt this yard is. You know, you can really tell you're in the hood a lot of times when people don't keep their yard kept at all. Like, it looks like that yard has never been manicured, never been cut, like ever. Sometimes you could tell when it's just been a few weeks, maybe even a few months. That yard looked like it's never been cut. And I want y'all to think about this. Let me see if I can see what time of day this was when she called 911. Let me see. It doesn't say here. So let's just say right here, when the police showed up, it looks like it's daytime. Does she look like she's dressed to go to work or do anything productive at all? I'm just talking about our mentality, this victimhood mentality, this irresponsible mentality, and why I believe that the government just constantly just perpetually just keeping people on government benefits just forever, just because you have kids. Because if you ask me, this is a situation where you would have to call hashtag babies for benefits. This woman don't love those kids at all. She's a selfish, nasty, disgusting person, and she only had all three of those kids, and she keeps hitting that reset timer in order to keep her government benefits. Because without those kids, do you think that she'd be able to live in this house on her own and pay all the bills, especially being dressed like this and look like she don't have a job at all? It looks like it's around the middle of the day. And why do they always wear these damn bags on their heads? Shout out to Tommy again. But every time I see this, I be thinking like, I don't think you understand how stupid that looks. You wear that in your house, and even sometimes when you wear it in the house, you look dumb. But when you're out in public, this is the middle of the day, you clearly aren't about to do anything productive at all. I'm just saying. This is a completely different situation, but more times than none, when you see people wearing stuff like that, they usually look like shit and not doing anything productive at all.
The house where you can see her girlfriend, Jonna Lowe, in the red shorts out front before the video is blurred.
Mom got up about 11:48, noticed that the back door was open, and he's run away 3 times before. So if we can have units circulate some parks and areas around here, we're going to go ahead and search the house.
LaShonda tells the officer the back door was left open.
Let me go check out here real quick, okay?
Now, even though what I just said about that whole wearing the bonnets and all of that stuff, they had their kids wearing that stuff. Ladies, if I'm wrong, type in the chat. I know we got a lot of ladies in the chat. I can see y'all typing in there. If I'm wrong, please tell me why it's okay to walk around with that no matter what time of day it is, and wear that crap on your head and wear it in public, wearing house shoes in public, looking uncouth and unkept and unbathed in public. What's the point of that? And we wonder why. Yeah, why they blurring out her face? I don't know. I'm lost by that. Because they got her picture, her mugshot, and everything else. So I don't know why they're blurring out her face. But can anybody please explain that to me? What is the point of that? If you ask me, why the rate of marriage is so low in the black community, and I'm black, so I can speak on the black community. I've been black for 41 years, if y'all didn't know. Been black for a long time. You can tell that a lot of our sisters are not getting married, not getting offers for marriage, because you don't even look the part, right? If I was to go out and I go out in a tank top, in a what do they call it, a wife beater tank top, and I'm walking around and go in the job saying, hey man, what's up with it, man? Hey, y'all hiring up in there? Can I get a job? Imagine if I walked up to a company like Samsung or Sprint, or I guess Sprint ain't really around no more, T-Mobile. I walked in there with a tank top and got my hat on backwards. I walk in with a bonnet or my do-rag or whatever. And I walk in there just looking hella crazy like I ain't brushed my teeth all day. And I say, hey man, can I get a job, man? What's up, man? Y'all niggas not hiring up in here, right? And wonder why I don't get hired. I look at these situations and you say to yourself, if you're presenting yourself on a regular basis like this, uncouth, unkept, uncleaned, unmade up, and you wonder why people aren't attracted by the way that you walk, by the way that you talk, by the place that you live, by how many kids you have outside of wedlock, and how many STDs you have. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie. Look, let me talk about my state for a second. Let me. Houston, Texas. I'm sorry. I got to talk about my state for a second. I got to do it. I saw a statistic out recently that says that there is a high-ass rate of STDs right now in Houston, Texas. And I know Atlanta was pretty bad, but Houston, Texas is actually on the rise right now. Tens of thousands of people. I'm just saying. That's why I tend to just stay at home and I don't just stick my dick just anywhere and everywhere, right? I value my semen. I value my soon-to-be children. I value my penis not burning, right? I value being able to take a piss and not be burning or be wondering if some disease I done caught or have to go down there and go take the shot and take them pills for 7 days. Not that I know nothing about that, because I don't. But I'm just saying, and we wonder why people aren't choosing us as a race. That can go for men also, right? That can go for our brothers too. The way that you present yourself and then wonder why you don't get very many good options out there. But I notice that even brothers can still get married, but our sisters aren't, and now they're starting to pair up with other women. They're starting to pair up with each other. That's why, look, I just think it's weird to see, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it's weird to see how women are just claiming that it ain't no good men out there. They don't want this man, they don't want that. And then they turn around and start messing with each other until they get tired of messing with each other, and see how crappy that lane is of dealing with other women and dealing with the same thing, and rather than dealing with something opposite, right? They get tired of fussing and fighting and getting beat up by women, and then they decide to go back to men. And wonder why they have this line of thinking that if a man is gay, then oh, no. Yeah, I can't deal with that. But most of these men out here trying to date these women and had some gay experiences. But that's supposed to be okay. We're supposed to make a pass for that, right? Just saying, man.
When the officer doesn't find anything there, he asked Jonna and LaShonda if they have any idea where he might be.
No other family friends.
What? I haven't seen nobody else when I walked around the
All right. All right.
LaShonda tells the officer Martonio has done this before.
Why is you think he's running away? He's a little unruly, and there is a caseworker And she's like, he probably got mad because she doesn't give him what he wants. So, and then he kind of has a habit of doing that, I guess.
Eventually, police begin to search by helicopter.
So we're over here looking Hamilton and 18.
And going door to door.
You seen this kid at all recently? He's missing.
Hours later, they would find the boy in a trash bag in a sleeping bag inside his mother's attic.
Let's pause that right there. How can she not know that her son is dead inside of her own house? Does that mean that you're leaving your child and maybe your girlfriend that looking like a man, Miss Swan, that she did it and hid your son? But again, I keep saying that when you have children, maybe dating isn't something that you should be doing, or cohabitating with somebody who is not your legal guardian, right? Get married, then that makes that person a legal responsible parent. But as far as like if you're just dating boyfriend, girlfriend, stop bringing your boyfriends and girlfriends to live with your kids, and then you allegedly go off to work or go run some errands and then leave your kid alone with somebody who don't like those kids because those kids look like the person that you last had sex with, unprotected. That's going to make most people a little bit uncomfortable. At least immature, like just people who don't have their mind together.
John Lowe is charged with obstruction of justice. NBC4's Jackie Gillis joins us now after reading through the coroner's investigation report, and we want to warn viewers.
I got to show y'all that picture again. We got a couple people here, so it's good to see y'all here. Just in case if y'all wondering why I say she looking like a man, let me put this back up on the screen again. And I want y'all to look. I wouldn't let this woman watch my pet turtle. I wouldn't let this woman watch my pet alligator, let alone my child, my human breathing child, with a face like this. Like, this is just a face that I'm sure your parents just gotta be disappointed. Just, man, I thought you was gonna turn out to be better than that, player. I just truly, truly thought that we did better than this, and this is the result that we got, and just, yeah. Just sometime, man, you crap out when you roll the dice. Somebody said she looks like the lion from The Wiz. Oh, my Lord. Could be true.
Viewers up front here, the details are disturbing. Jackie?
Jared and Jen, this report broke down what all occurred this past Friday after Wilder called 911 to report Martonio missing. It talks about how and where his body was found, and we're also hearing 911 calls made that day from Wilder herself.
Please, can I get a food here? My 8-year-old son ran away last night.
This is one of 2 911 calls LaShonda Wilder made on Friday, begging for police to come to her house on Olmsted Avenue. She says the last time anyone saw Martonio was Thursday night, right before everyone went to bed. She tells police she has no idea where he could be and isn't sure what he was wearing.
Ooh, my back door was wide open. Oh, man. Oh, man.
During the call, Wilder tells the dispatcher this isn't the first time Martonio has done something like this, but they've always found him.
He had jumped out my window before I found him on the side of my house. He just keeps trying to run away. I don't know why. He said he hate me. He said he hate everything. He said he don't care about being here.
When officers arrived on scene, a search began. According to court documents, at one point, Wilder became uncooperative, leaving with Lowe and her other 2 children, the 3- and 9-year-old. This is what prompted the Friday night Amber Alert. Later in the evening Friday, according to the coroner's investigation,
I got to take a pause for the cause real quick and give a shout out to my brother, the Relationship Rehab. Y'all make sure to check out his channel. He's in the building. Y'all click those dots on his name. Go sub to his channel. Much love, my brother. Definitely appreciate you being here, bro.
Report, first responders entered Wilder's home through the back, making their way to the 2nd floor, where they observed an attic door. The attic is only about 2 feet high and is filled with dust and cobwebs. The only thing in it was a sleeping bag cover tied shut. EMS cut the strings and saw a black trash bag. All that could be seen was Martonio's hands, feet, and camo pants. The report says the body was cold to the touch. The house was 78 degrees. I also was shown photos from the coroner's office. It appears that Martonio was malnourished. And we do know that the Franklin County Children's Services was working with the Wilder family, but we don't know in what capacity.
Like I said, I'm going to assume that they were already doing an investigation for abuse. Now, what's funny, again, you're talking about in Ohio, more times than none, they are overworked. They don't have enough workers. They don't have time to go out and go do these visits. When in all actuality, they would get paid the mileage to just go, and they're just not going. They're not making the visits. So you have all of this abuse going on. So what does the system even exist for if you're going to have the job and not do the damn job? Overhaul the system, fire everybody, start over, do something. But the way that they're going and just allowing this to continue to just be is just not the business at all.
Connection with the boy's death. Now, John Lowe was arraigned this morning on a felony charge of obstruction of justice. The judge ended up giving her a $500,000 bond. Martonio's mother, LaShonda Wilder, was also arraigned this morning, but she did not appear in court, with the judge saying
that was allegedly a woman. Wow.
She was unruly. Wilder received a total bond of $2 million for the murder and obstruction of justice charges. Columbus police say Wilder and two of her children were the subject of an Amber Alert Friday night. While investigating the case, police say they found the body of Martonio in a trash bag hidden in the attic. Wilder's other two kids were found safe later on Friday night. Police say they were called to Wilder's home around noon on Friday, and Wilder said she had last seen Martonio on Thursday night. Police began a canine search of the neighborhood, after which Wilder and Lowe left without telling police, taking the other two children, ages 3 and 9. Officers got a search warrant for the house when they realized Wilder was gone, and that is when they found Martonio's body. We spoke with the family of LaShonda and Martonio Wilder following the arraignment this morning. They are heartbroken over the little boy's death, and they say they don't understand how this happened.
We're not on LaShonda's side. Yes, we love her. We love her so much, and it really feels like two deaths because we're literally having to sever our ties with our family, you see what I'm saying, our own blood, because she's done the unthinkable.
You know what? And y'all know I normally get on to the family members for supporting them, but I respect what she just said. So she's just like, if you did this to your son, you did this to one of our family members, a little bitty boy who could speak for himself nor defend himself. That's unacceptable, and I can appreciate what she just said. I only got a couple more news videos.
That Thursday night. Officers say throughout the search, Wilder and Lowe became uncooperative during the search. The police report says LaShonda Wilder did not want a canine officer in her home. Neighbors in the area shocked.
Even though he's up in heaven with God right now, he shouldn't be. I mean, he should be right down here being a boy playing. But instead he's up in heaven.
Police records show at 6:20 Friday evening they made the horrible discovery. The young boy was found dead in a trash bag in the attic. The mother and girlfriend leaving the scene without telling police. A brief Amber Alert was issued for Wilder's other two young children. And
look, whenever we do an update, maybe, I don't know if y'all want me to do this or if I can even do this to try to get access to the records. But I definitely want to do an update on this story because I want to know who actually are they pointing the finger at when it comes to the abuse, to this murder, what I believe to be a murder, and then who hid the child in the attic. Because I think that they actually both participated in that part. But we're definitely going to end up doing a part 2 to this.
But tonight we're hearing for the first time.
And if y'all listen, do me a favor and please hit that thumbs up. We want to have one thumb up for everybody watching. I'm going to give away some more channel memberships away for free. But if y'all will, do me a favor and please hit that thumbs up if you're watching.
From the mother. Thanks for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Yolanda Harris. Andrew has the night off. Several of our public record requests have come back, including the mother's 911 call the day after she says he went missing. 10 TV's Carly Dion shares what the mother says happened. Carly?
Yolanda, the boy's mother, LaShonda Wilder, is being charged with his murder, but her 911 calls that day seem to contradict that charge as they reveal her emotional plea to dispatchers that her son ran away. We want to warn you, some of what you are about to hear may be disturbing.
My 8-year-old son ran away last night.
In this 911 call from Friday afternoon, a voice believed to be LaShonda Wilder is asking the dispatcher for help in locating her 8-year-old son, Martonio, who she is reporting as missing.
I don't know what he wearing. I think his red and black Nikes are missing. I don't know what he had on. Nobody seen him leave.
The dispatcher then asks Wilder the last time she saw Martonio.
We all went to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. My back door was wide open. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Before the call ends, she adds this isn't the first time her son has tried to get away.
He had jumped out my window before I finally went inside of my house. He just keeps trying to run away. I don't know why. He said he hate me. He said he hate everything. He said he don't care if I be in here.
Records reveal officers were called to their home on Olmsted Avenue 22 times over the last year and a half, including a disturbance call just 1 week before this incident.
And thank you for calling that out in the chat. I was thinking the same thing, that with them, because that takes some planning. And it makes you wonder if one or both of them have killed a person before, to know to put this child's body in a trash bag, wrap it up tight, and then put it inside of another bag to keep the smell from escaping, because normally you would smell that smell of death and decay, right? It's an unmistakable smell. It's a smell that you don't want to experience, but it's a smell that you can't mistake for anything else. And it's very pungent. It's very strong. And you would have smelled it throughout the house, and you would have smelled it even in the next to the neighbors' houses. You would have definitely have smelled it. So to me, this sounds like they absolutely knew how to, like, are you just that familiar with death and dead kids and dead bodies to know to do that? Did you Google search it or what?
Several of those calls were listed as domestic violence or domestic disputes. When officers arrived at the home on Olmsted Avenue, they spoke to Wilder. Officers searched the home and were unable to locate the boy, which is when the missing persons unit responded with a canine cadaver dog. At this point, Wilder became uncooperative.
Thank you. My brother said you never forget that smell, and that's just incredibly sad.
Did not want the dog inside her home and left the area with her girlfriend, Jonna Lowe, and her 2 other children. Just before 6:30 Friday night, Martonio's body was found hidden in the home's attic in a trash bag and sleeping bag cover. Hours later, an Amber Alert was issued for Martonio's 2 young siblings and Wilder. The children were eventually located safely at Lowe's home with her mother, but Wilder and Lowe were not there. The Franklin County coroner ruled Martonio's death a homicide. The coroner also reports finding deep neck compression on the child. The following day, Wilder and Lowe turned themselves in to police and were taken to the Franklin County Jail. Both are facing obstruction of justice charges in addition to Wilder's murder charge.
Okay, and I think this last video is kind of repeating a lot of the same information, so I'm going to kind of skip through it.
His body in his family's attic inside a plastic trash bag that was inside a bivvy cover. When Columbus police first arrived at Wilder's house around noon, officers spoke with Wilder and her girlfriend, 33-year-old Jonna Lowe. According to Wilder, the last time Martonio was seen was around 9:30 p.m. Thursday. Now, according to the court documents, while police and a canine unit were searching for Martonio, Wilder became uncooperative and didn't want the canine inside her home. That's when police say she, Lowe, and Martonio's 2 brothers left without notifying police.
That sounds like she knew. She knew better. And I think that should also incur an additional charge.
That's what prompted last night's Amber Alert. The 2 brothers, a 3- and 9-year-old, were found safe. Now, Wilder has been charged with murder and obstruction of justice. Lowe is also charged with obstructing justice.
Let's stop it right there. Let me give you guys my closing thoughts outside of, God damn, that's a bad looking woman. Jesus. Look, let me tell you guys this. Let me get off her face, because I'm going to mess around and get flagged if I keep talking about her face. But let's talk about this alleged mother, this alleged human. I think both of them deserve life in prison with no possibility of return. And let me tell you a little bit of something about an ungrateful person. These are the type of people that don't need to be in our society. The person that you guys see on the left-hand side of the screen. People like that, especially accomplices like the woman there, alleged woman on the right-hand side of the screen. I want y'all to think about, she's talking about in that news interview or when she was telling the police, she didn't want the police dog to search her house. She didn't want the dog in her house. The operative word is her house. But is it really her house? Is that really her house? I want y'all to remember hashtag Babies for Benefits, AFC hashtag, right? Her house. But would she have that house? Would she have had the financial means? Looking like she don't work, looking like she don't have a career, looking like she don't do nothing on a day-to-day basis. Would she have that house if not for having 3 fucking kids? Would most of these people who behave like this, ungrateful for their kids, and the same kid that allowed you to get that house in the first place, you lied, you mistreated this kid, you probably beat this kid, probably starved this kid, was a happy kid, probably alienated his father. The same kid that you're getting Section 8 food stamps, benefits, car vouchers, and child support and all of this stuff off of, right? Babies for Benefits. You return that favor by allowing him to die a gruesome, horrible death, lied about it, tried to hide it, and then wanted to play like you were a victim. You can't be that level of dumb. And I really just truly don't think that we could have more people like that producing in our society, being in our society, or have another chance at getting back in our society and producing more kids, being around more kids. That should be a permanent life sentence, and that should just be the end of it. So hopefully we'll see that. If more information comes out about the story, we'll do an update, but I hope that they give both of these jerk-offs a life sentence in prison. To Martonio, see if I can get a picture of him. The picture I liked of him, probably this one, Young Prince, R.I.P. We'll bring you guys an update. Make sure you check out the AFC podcast. We'll be back for the next story, okay? Thank you.